In the meantime, let's go back to New York City. Want to get some updates on the case that is unfolding there regarding Sean Diddy Combs.
Kooky, and it seems like they're just leaning into it. Like there's no course correction at all. Just leaning into the kooky. Yeah. It's fun times.
The courtroom drama surrounding Diddy case has taken a dramatic turn, with his powerful legal team doing everything in their power to refute the evidence against him. Could this latest move be the key to the music mogul going free? The stakes are extremely high. Diddy case is making headlines again, but this time it's not about his music business endeavors or his legendary parties. His defense team focuses on what they say is a serious law enforcement procedural error that could create a precedent that upends the legal system. Let's examine the specifics of how Diddy's high-priced attorneys are manipulating prosecutors, leaving everyone to question if justice or power will finally triumph.
You're just like, it's there. I mean, it's not just there. It's everywhere. My news feed is dominated by it. Fox News, CNN, everyone. There's raids at Diddy's.
For months, Diddy has been at the center of a media firestorm, facing accusations that could dismantle his empire and potentially land him behind bars for decades. The charges against him are as serious as they come, painting a damning picture of alleged manipulation, coercion, and orchestrated events that reportedly left a trail of trauma. His shocking arrest in September sent ripples through the world, but as the investigation unfolded, the revelations only grew more unsettling. Claims of secretive gatherings, allegations of witness tampering, and explosive courtroom battles have dominated the headlines. Now, as prosecutors fight tirelessly to keep Diddy in custody, his defense team has revealed a strategy that could shift the entire case. At the center of this legal clash lies a series of handwritten notes seized during a raid of Diddy's jail cell at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. Prosecutors argue these notes are a smoking gun, a direct insight into Diddy's alleged attempts to influence witnesses and unearth damaging information about his accusers, all from behind bars. Assistant U.S. Attorney Christy Slavic minced no words, informing the court that the notes detailed plans to bribe witnesses and directed family members to gather dirt on his alleged victims. For the prosecution, these notes are not mere scribbles. They represent clear evidence of obstruction, providing a strong basis for keeping Diddy incarcerated until his trial.
Imagine if you're the CIA, you're like, okay, we're looking for people who have gone through these things in their life that have curated this kind of like personality type.
Well, isn't it just like part of the gig? Like here's a for instance, like your bit about Puffy.
But Diddy's legal team is having none of it, led by Mark Agnifilo, a seasoned attorney known for navigating high-profile cases. The defense is arguing that the seizure of these notes was not only a violation of Diddy's constitutional rights, but also a breach of attorney-client privilege. According to Agnifilo, the notes were part of privileged communications between Diddy and his legal team, detailing defense strategies and private discussions that should have been off limits to investigators during a heat-ed court hearing. Agnello declared the bottom line is that no multi-agency law enforcement initiative justified rifling through Mr. Combs' personal handwritten notes of conversations with his lawyers, and the prosecutor's arguments to the contrary lack all credibility.
Courthouse in Lower Manhattan, the judge ordering the prosecution to turn over its findings from a jail cell raid, Diddy's jail cell, just yesterday. What were the contents of those raids?
Well, apparently, according to the defense, they're legal documents. The government saying no, on the contrary, they're just some handwritten notes in a cap.
The defense is relying largely on the contention that the raid violated the 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendments of the Constitution, arguing that the search was unlawful and that the materials seized should never have been shared with the prosecution. This is not just lawyerly bluster either. Essentially, they contend that these documents were acquired during what they refer to as an institutional collapse. AGN has even demanded surveillance footage of the raid, implying that the search may have been directed especially at Diddy, rather than as part of a larger security operation, as part of a pretextual suite that was camouflaged as a standard check for contraband.
I think it's over.
You think it's over?
I think it's over for him as like a figure in entertainment.
Right. But do you think it's over as him as far as like he gets a cell right next to R. Kelly?
I don't think so.
The defense's approach is obviously flawed. The prosecution's credibility could be severely damaged if they are successful in framing the seizure of the notes as an unlawful and reckless overreach. After all, if the court finds that the notes were obtained improperly, prosecutors may be forced to exclude them from evidence, which could undermine their claims of obstruction and witness tampering. For Diddy, this could mean a much higher chance of getting bail, if not the dismissal of some charges.
If it is privilege, of course they won't. But if it really is what the prosecution says, that has nothing to do with the case, or even worse, it's actually evidence of witness tampering, because we all know the attorney-client privilege, there's a crime fraud exception. You can't use your lawyer to perpetuate a future or continuing fraud or crime. So if the documents are what the government says they are, they're going to get them again. And again, it's just going to be a matter of days.
The prosecution remains steadfast, asserting that the search was conducted lawfully and the seized notes are admissible evidence. Assistant U.S. Attorney Christy Slavic explained that the notes were discovered during a routine Bureau of Prisons sweep aimed at addressing contraband within the facility. She emphasized that no prosecution team member was involved in or aware of the search, distancing the team from any allegations of misconduct. Slavic also refuted the defense's claims of attorney-client privilege, noting that the notes contained to-do lists and other unrelated writings. Paying off a witness and digging up dirt on two victims is not privileged, she stated, reinforcing the argument that these notes expose a calculated effort by Diddy to obstruct justice.
So there's a few things going on. First is the privilege issue. The judge will decide whether the documents are privileged or not. If they're not, they're going to go to the government. If the documents are not only not privileged, but they're evidence of witness tampering, then a few things can happen, all of which are bad for Sean Diddy Combs. First, of course, he could face obstruction of justice charges in a superseding indictment.
The case against Diddy has taken another intriguing turn as U.S. District Judge Arun Subramanian adopts a cautious stance on the contested evidence. While the judge has temporarily ordered prosecutors to delete all copies of the seized notes, he has also placed the original documents under court seal until the question of privilege is resolved. This decision leaves the notes in legal limbo, intensifying the battle between the prosecution and defense. For Diddy's legal team, it marks a small but crucial victory, buying time to argue that the notes should never have been seized in the first place. For the prosecution, however, it's a frustrating setback that could have far-reaching consequences if the court ultimately sides with the defense. This latest skirmish is just one of many in a case already filled with dramatic twists and turns. Earlier this month, prosecutors accused Diddy of using his time in jail to orchestrate a public relations campaign aimed at swaying potential jurors. According to court filings, Diddy allegedly instructed his children to post a video on social media wishing him a happy birthday, a move prosecutors claim was a calculated attempt to shape public opinion. Prosecutors further allege that Diddy made numerous calls to potential witnesses using other inmates' phone accounts to avoid detection. Combined with the incriminating notes found in his cell, these allegations paint a picture of a man determined to manipulate the judicial process to his advantage, raising the stakes in an already high-profile case.
He doesn't kind of buy what the prosecution's selling. He thinks they've looked at the notes.
Yeah.
He thinks that they're cheating.
I mean, I would think that too.
But apparently, what happened is commonplace.
However, despite all of the damaging accusations, Diddy's defense team has been able to draw attention to the weaknesses in the prosecution's case. With the judge now examining the legality of the cell raid, the defense is attempting to reverse the trend by shifting the narrative away from Diddy's alleged actions and toward the government's handling of the case. AGN has consistently emphasized that his client's rights were violated, accusing the government of misconduct and overreach at every turn.
Music business, it's a lot of people.
It's not just the music business. It's the extortion business.
Well, yeah. I mean, the rap game was crazy. That's a thing a lot of people don't realize is like, back in the day, especially like early rap game, you weren't just going to play at, what's the random theater that you would play in LA?
It's a risky move, but if the defense can persuade the judge that the prosecution's case is already based on shaky ground, it would be worthwhile. The notes controversy has spurred a larger discussion about the boundaries of law enforcement and the rights of defendants, especially those who can afford to put up a strong case. While proponents of the prosecution view the raid on Diddy's cell as an essential step to guarantee that justice is done, Detractors contend that it raises severe ethical concerns about targeting well-known prisoners.
People on both sides, right? There's the people on the right that are trying to nail the people that are on the left with this. There's people that are journalists that are trying to nail the people that are involved in this.
This is it,
And they've managed to keep that list from coming out, which shows you how powerful certain people are. That should show you a lot. That should be.
One thing is certain as the courtroom drama plays out, both sides are playing to win, and neither is giving up. For Diddy, the stakes are extremely high, as his reputation, wealth, and freedom are at stake. He has spent a lot of money assembling a legal dream team to defend him, and for prosecutors, the case is an opportunity to hold a powerful person accountable for what they describe as years of unchecked wrongdoing. The outcome of this battle of titans is likely to influence not only Diddy's future, but also the larger discussion about justice and accountability in cases involving the rich and famous.
That's what people were saying, and maybe everybody's a conspiracy theorist now, but that's what people are saying about the Diddy situation. Like when the feds rolled up, with the Hummers and shit, they were like, it wasn't about Diddy, it was about if there were tapes of powerful people there.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
They were the ones that called. They're like, I need to protect myself, so go in there with all the things and rip any tapes or anything.
Tension in the courtroom is palpable, with each argument, objection, and ruling carrying the weight of a trial that has gripped public attention. While the battle over the seized notes may seem like a procedural sidebar, it has the potential to become a turning point in a case already full of unexpected twists. As the judge prepares to rule on the privilege issue, all eyes are on Diddy and his defense team, waiting to see if their latest move will shift the case in their favor. Yet, even as the legal drama intensifies, the gravity of the allegations remains unavoidable. The accusations against Diddy and the harrowing stories of those who have come forward remain at the heart of this saga, casting a long shadow over the proceedings. With the stakes higher than ever, the stage is set for a trial unlike any other.
That Diddy was running some kind of Epstein-type deal where he was filming everybody, right?
That's the rumors, yeah. I don't know that there's any proof or anything other than...
The story of Scene Diddy Combs takes a darker turn as prosecutors delve into what they describe as one of the entertainment industry's most disturbing cases in years. While Diddy's legal team battles over seized notes and alleged procedural violations, attention is shifting to the core of the accusations, and the emerging picture is far from glamorous. For decades, Diddy was celebrated as the king of parties, the mastermind behind Hollywood's most exclusive and talked-about events. Now those same high-profile gatherings are under scrutiny, accused of serving as the backdrop for alleged misconduct that prosecutors and accusers claim went far beyond mere indulgence. What was once whispered about in industry circles has now been thrust into the public spotlight, revealing details that are as shocking as they are damning.
Someone said that they weren't there to take stuff, they were there to delete everything. Like the real people that were in there,
Oh,
like
that's
the same
funny.
thing with Epstein.
Let's start with the infamous break-offs, the private late-night gatherings said to follow Diddy's star-studded parties. These events were legendary, cloaked in secrecy, and reportedly attended by some of the biggest names in Hollywood. Over the years, celebrities like Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lopez, Beyoncé, and Jay-Z have all been photographed at Diddy's lavish parties. But according to court documents and witness statements, the real action began once the red carpet was rolled up and the cameras were gone. Sources describe these after-hours gatherings as a completely different kind of party, one where rules didn't just bend, they disappeared altogether. Allegedly, attendees were personally handpicked by Diddy, and the guest list was so exclusive that even some of Hollywood's most famous faces were left in the dark about what truly happened behind closed doors.
Of course. There's layers upon layers. When you get into these conspiracy theories, man, they never end. They never end. There's just layers upon layers.
What makes these allegations even more disturbing is the meticulous planning behind these events. Prosecutors allege that Diddy didn't just throw parties. He orchestrated them like elaborate productions. Witnesses describe hotel suites meticulously prepared with high-end decor and supplies that leave little to the imagination, all overseen by assistants and tight security teams, following detailed instructions. While some guests were there for the music and atmosphere, others claim they were pressured or manipulated into participating in activities they didn't consent to. These accusations have sparked outrage, especially given the stark power dynamics at play. When someone as influential as Diddy extends an invitation, saying no isn't always as straightforward as it seems.
Well, if he really was filming everybody, I mean, he had a lot of people at those parties, right?
The sheer volume of people who have come forward with their own accounts of what transpired at these events is one of the most terrifying aspects of this case. Attorney Tony Busby, who is representing more than 120 people, has been outspoken about the severity of the accusations and has even sent demand letters to celebrities who attended these events, warning them that their silence could be interpreted as complicit. According to Busby, if you were there and you witnessed what was happening and you didn't speak up, you're just as responsible as the people who planned it. His remarks have sent shockwaves through Hollywood, with many celebrities now attempting to disaster Diddy's renowned parties.
Tells the stories like, I saw her go upstairs and these dudes are like right on the couch.
Yeah.
And then I go in this room and these guys are It's like,
And pros. Like, apparently he was getting male gigolos to girls.
girls.
Yeah, that was one of the rumors, like the
Male
freak off. So he would
gigolos.
hire the professional to have with the girls, and I think he would watch.
While many remain silent, others are beginning to share their experiences, some supporting the accusers, others defending their own reputations. Ashton Kutcher, for instance, admitted to attending Diddy's parties in the past, but claimed he never witnessed anything inappropriate. "I felt a lot I can't tell," he said in an interview before jokingly adding, "I'm cycling through Diddy party stories. Man, that was some weird memory lane stuff." Similarly, Ice Cube addressed the rumors during a recent concert, firmly stating that he had never attended one of Diddy's infamous after-hours gatherings. "You ain't got to worry about us on those tapes," he declared. Meanwhile, others like 50 Cent have openly criticized Diddy's behavior. "I've been very vocal about not going to those kinds of parties," the rapper stated, adding, "It's just an uncomfortable energy."
Okay, so then there's the question. It's like, can you take a completely normal person, give them power, and then they become that? Or does it take a power-hungry person that has this void that they need to be filled, that needs to be filled, and then when they are given that power, you see the worst version of them?
Ask your CIA boy. I bet he's got the answers. I bet he knows the exact formula.
To corrupting somebody
Yeah.
or to...
What happens? Like what happened?
Not everyone in Hollywood is rushing to clear their names, and the silence from some has only fueled speculation about who knew what and when. Meanwhile, others have come forward with stories that seem to confirm the most disturbing allegations. One particularly damning account comes from Tana Wallace, who claims she was flown to one of Diddy's events by a Saudi businessman. Wallace described the gathering as unlike anything she had ever experienced, alleging that attendees engaged in deeply unsettling activities. Her most shocking claim: witnessing individuals who appeared far too young to be there, surrounded by adults in a setting she described as highly inappropriate. Diddy's legal team has strongly denied Wallace's allegations, questioning her credibility and dismissing her claims as baseless. Yet, her account has drawn renewed attention to other lawsuits and accusations that have emerged over the years. Among the most notable is a civil suit filed last year by Cassandra Ventura, better known as Cassie, who accused Diddy of subjecting her to years of emotional and physical abuse during their relationship. While Diddy initially denied her claims, the case took a dramatic turn when a video surfaced showing him allegedly attacking Cassie in a hotel hallway. The footage, which quickly went viral, has been seen as a turning point, emboldening other accusers to share their stories and adding momentum to the growing case against him.
Man, I ain't gonna lie.
Talia Graves is one of the latest accusers, alleging that Diddy abused and restrained her in the early 2000s. Diddy's legal team has not yet officially addressed Graves' allegation that he recorded the encounter without her knowledge and then disclosed the video to others. Although Diddy has entered not guilty pleas to all of the charges, the sheer volume of accusations has made it more and more difficult for him to maintain his innocence in the court of public opinion. These accusations, along with the growing evidence from other accusers, have painted a picture of someone who allegedly used his wealth and influence to control and exploit those around him.
Oh, man, I just had like a 3.5-hour cry.
What makes this case even more complex is the potential involvement of other celebrities, whether knowingly or unknowingly. Photos and videos have surfaced showing Diddy alongside some of Hollywood's biggest names, including Usher, Kim Kardashian, and Paris Hilton. While it remains unclear how many of these individuals were aware of the allegations or involved in the described events, their association with Diddy has raised uncomfortable questions about the culture of silence that often surrounds powerful figures in the entertainment industry. As attorney Tony Busby put it, "This isn't just about one man. This is about a system that allowed this kind of behavior to continue for years without anyone stepping in to stop it." The broader implications of this case are hard to ignore. For many, it serves as a grim reminder of the power imbalances within industries like music and film, where success often hinges on who you know and what you're willing to tolerate. It also highlights the reckoning faced by those who have turned a blind eye to the darker side of celebrity culture, focusing more on the glitz and glamour than on the people who may have been harmed in the process. For Diddy, this represents a moment of reckoning that could alter not only his life but the lives of those who have been affected by his alleged actions.
Is he going to turn people in? Is he going to cooperate? If the federal government wants him to cooperate and they're going to cut his time, because right now he's looking at 15 to life. With all the charges he won't get out till 70 years old. He's about 70. That's when they start talking about letting him come to a halfway.
While accusers and their lawyers are committed to seeing justice done, Diddy's legal team is working non-stop to refute the accusations and find weaknesses in the prosecution's case as the trial draws near. In addition to seeing whether Diddy is judged guilty or innocent, the world will be following this case to learn more about accountability privilege and the pursuit of justice in a society where fame and wealth frequently seem to triumph over the truth.
Guilty for what he did as an individual. Sean is the one who pulled that gun out. Sean is the one who shot. So he has to take responsibility for that. He put that gun back.
Even as the courtroom battle rages on, one question lingers. Can Diddy truly escape the shadow of these allegations? Despite his wealth and influence, the tide of public opinion seems to be shifting against him. Many of his once loyal fans are now questioning the man behind the brand. Whether or not he is found guilty, the damage to his reputation may already be irreversible, leaving behind a legacy far more complicated than the one he spent decades building. As the spotlight intensifies, it's clear that this is a story that extends beyond just one man. It's about power, accountability, and the voices of those finally finding the courage to speak out. While the outcome of the trial remains uncertain, the impact of these revelations is likely to reverberate for years. So, what do you think? Is Diddy's latest legal maneuver a brilliant strategy or a desperate ploy? How do you believe these allegations will impact his legacy in the music industry? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this unfolding drama. Until next time.